Pull those belts tight, put on your helmet, and grab a gear. It's time for another high-speed episode of Race Chaser Media's Motorsports Madness, powered by mycomputercareer.edu. Training for a better life. Let's throw the green and send it to the hosts in the studio.
It's us.
That's us.
Yes.
We are the hosts of the studio.
Yeah, well, that guy's new to this side of the...
For those looking at the camera, that would be Randy Miller.
That's a scary thing.
Yeah, terrifying.
Randy's trying to get used to being...
I have escaped from the tech shed. There's an escape route, apparently. I didn't know.
Randy has been...
No, you just created it, Randy. That's what happened.
I just busted through like the Kool-Aid man.
I'm going to take back control of this before it gets too far out of hand.
We
Hi.
promoted Randy Miller from the tech shed.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Hi. Jacob Seelman, otherwise known as the guy who kind of runs the ship most of the time.
Usually.
Yeah. He's Tom, as in Baker.
That's me.
As in the guy who runs the ship when I'm not here.
That's correct.
And as we've already established, that's Randy, who is now giving up his chair tonight to Chris Murdoch, who's hiding and punching buttons and hopefully...
Chris is doing double duty tonight for the first time.
Fingers crossed this show
May the
stays
force
on the
be
track.
with him
If something goes wrong now, you can't blame me because I'm over here now.
That's right.
So,
it's still going to be your fault.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
No. It's going to be this guy's fault. We have Reid Wilson in the studio with us for the first time in 3 years.
Oh.
Hi, Reid.
Hello there.
Yeah, Reid grew up since the last time we had him in the studio.
I grew up. I grew out.
He gained 40 pounds.
Ouch.
It's no. It's body mass. You have to have that. You know, those are extra carbs that I've stored up for the long race.
He tries to use that excuse too, but it doesn't work on him.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just saying, the apocalypse comes.
Reid and I are on the seafood diet. We see food, we eat it. We gain weight.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
in between us are two bean poles.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that happened. But anyways,
It's called
Jacob,
jealousy. That's what
carry
that is.
on.
Ooh.
What are we talking about
My mom
tonight?
tells me that I'm built.
We're talking about a lot of things, though I fear with Reid here it's going to be difficult to get a word in edgewise. But
Yeah.
we have racing happening this weekend at Kansas. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about rule changes. I thought we were done talking about rules changes.
Never.
But we're going to talk about rules changes. And, well, it's the month of May, and there's an IndyCar race this weekend. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, too, which I'm really excited about.
And we'll talk trucks since Reid is here.
Well, yes, we'll talk about trucks because they're racing at Kansas this weekend. But first, we're going to do this business. Chris is going to punch a button, and we're back after this.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the Track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the Track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more, but the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Automotive technicians and auto service trainees, how would you like to work at the beach and perform for one of the best car care centers in the nation? Louis Meineke is now looking for skilled automotive technicians to join their award-winning team. If you're a gearhead that knows his or her stuff, or a young up-and-comer that has the motivation and drive to succeed, then you need to make this call today. 302-827-2054. Lewis Meineke Car Care Center, located in beautiful Lewis, Delaware, offers a highly competitive compensation plan, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and did we mention that you're going to be working at the beach? Plus, there's a signing bonus for the right candidates. Technicians must be ASE certified and have a minimum of 6 years experience. Beginners advance at your own pace in one of several entry-level positions. But whatever you do, don't wait. These jobs will go fast. Call Tim at 302-827-2054. That's 302-827-2054. Lewis Meineke Car Care Center. Rev up your career.
This is Anthony Alfredo, and you're listening to the Performance Motorsports Network. Now back to the show.
I'm going to regret asking this in front of him, but if he's really good, we might even let Reid have a say in what kind of music we put behind his voice when he does one of those things later.
I think we should, I will not, if there's music before or after my voice, it has to be Joey the Kid, which I can get you the rights to. Joey the Kid, make sure to look him up. He's an up-and-coming artist in Charlotte. Used to be a race car driver.
See, I knew I was going to regret it.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. That's what you get for going there.
That's what I get for going there.
Saying,
Welcome back to Motorsports Madness. I'm cutting him off before he can get himself into more trouble. Jacob Seelman, well, one or the other. Jacob Seelman, Tom Baker, Randy Miller, Reid Wilson is back, and we're going to keep you on the straight and narrow tonight. I'm just warning you ahead of time.
Me and Tom already had about a 30-minute discussion on the do's and don'ts of the show. So.
At least your hair's halfway decent. That's progress.
Yeah, thanks to my PR. I just actually woke up about half an hour ago. So.
No, we know better than that. Sometimes.
He never sleeps.
There's that, too. All right, so we'll talk about Reid's Truck Series exploits in a minute, but I want to actually talk about the Truck Series to kick this off.
Okay.
Why not? It's Mother's Day weekend, and we're going to Kansas. Toto?
Yeah, by the way, let's just get this out of the way. Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms who are listening or watching the show.
Especially to my mom.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's
Your
Day,
mom's
Mom.
in our chat, so you better be careful. She's watching.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Yep.
So, hi, Rita.
Truck Series.
Yes.
What about it?
Well, I really hate starting off being negative, but I have to be.
No, you're not.
Why?
Don't say that.
What you got to say about the Truck Series, man?
Yeah, what's negative about the trucks?
Well,
Did I miss something?
Yeah, apparently you haven't looked at the entry list for this weekend.
Oh,
26 trucks.
We had been doing so good, and now we have a very, very short field for
what
this
happened to all
weekend
the
in
trucks?
Kansas. Well, apparently there's been a giant debate on that on Twitter, and
I'm confused because NASCAR knew that they were going to be short. They knew that they were going to be short trucks, right? So they made their call out to every team that they could that where they know that there's more than 3 trucks in their garage, and they said, bring another truck. Bring a third, bring a fourth truck.
Didn't work.
Apparently it didn't.
27 trucks.
Wow.
In a 32 truck field. And after, like I said, we started off so good. We had, 38 trucks, I think, at Martinsville as our high watermark for the year.
Is that the official?
Yes,
list?
this is the final official list. That's it. 27 trucks.
Really?
And this is coming from a truck series where so far in 2019 we've had full fields in every single race and multiple races where trucks have been sent home. So, Tom, this concerns me. I'm not happy.
No, it is strange. I don't really understand. I'm looking through this list, trying to figure out real quick who we're missing.
Reid's raising his hand.
Well, obviously Reid's not. But the trucks are racing.
Yeah,
his
trucks
a little bit of
Angela
input.
Ruck is running the 44, and Ross Chastain the 45 for Niece Motorsports, who you're racing part-time
TJ
for.
Bell was supposed to actually run the 38, so I don't if he's not on the list.
He is. Yep.
Okay,
TJ's on the list.
So three
I mean,
trucks.
I don't know where we're missing trucks here. I'm trying to figure this out because when I look, we have 2 Jennifer Jo Cobb trucks. We have Bailey Curry entered in a 1 truck. I'm not sure who owns that. It's Tracy Lowe, according to.
Yeah.
We have.
That came out of the Beaver Motorsports.
Sheldon Creed, Tyler Dipple, Jordan Anderson, Todd Gilliland, Norm Benning, Joe Nemechek's entered. So we have one of the Nemechek trucks. We have Jen Jo Cobb, Gus Dean, excuse me, Johnny Sauter, Austin Hill, Tyler Ankrum,
We're
Harrison
missing
Burton.
at least one DGR Crosley truck. They've had 3 at a
nope.
bunch of.
Natalie Decker.
No. What I'm saying is they've had 3 at every race but one this year.
Okay.
So we're missing 1 there. We actually have all 4 KBM trucks, which surprises me.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Reum is on the list. Balicki's on the list.
Corey Roper, I know, is one that's not on that
That's
list.
right. Corey Roper is not running. You are correct. I mean, this is an interesting.
Jesse Little's run 4 of the first 6. He's not going to Kansas.
Yeah,
I'm not really that worried about it because the way that I'm looking at it is there's a reason that I'm not racing Kansas, and that reason is it's what does it have to give me that Texas or Charlotte doesn't? You know what I'm saying? There's only if I'm only gonna do 5 or 6 races in a year, then why? You know, Kansas is probably not going to be one of those.
It's not a high market for your sponsor or anything.
That
right,
as well.
Right, that's true.
There's really only 16
Right.
full-time truck drivers.
Right.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
He's got
the
a
rest are
point.
part-time.
15 that are running for points in Ross.
Yeah. See?
But
Exactly.
I guarantee you the 28 cars or 28 trucks that are going to start that race will probably be more exciting than the 40 and 42 that are going to start the Xfinity and Cup Series races. Although Xfinity's not running.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Xfinity's not running. But
You're
I get
never
your
gonna
point.
notice.
But
I don't think.
sometimes less is more.
I mean, looking at the list, I don't see any, real power players missing necessarily. I think.
Yeah.
But
it's just the guys that run 20th back that are just there to get seat time. They're not there.
Right.
It just would bother me if this were
to continue.
I mean, you can't have 26 trucks at an event because it's not even a full field.
It's not a good. It's not a good look. And to dig a little deeper into this, you got the 04, the 97, the 42 truck. I don't think is on that list.
Nope.
They've had to. I believe, change some things around that will be announced here in the coming weeks as far as the plans for that going forward later in the year. We knew the 92 truck was only going to be a partial schedule, but they've been at several of the first few races of the year.
Timmy Hill is in the other Nemechek.
Yes,
truck.
and he's starting his own truck team. So there's a handful of faces that are missing that could have gotten us to a full field. But the biggest question I have here, Tom, and I know none of us at the table really have the answer to this, but the spec engine, the composite bodies, all these things that were supposed to help alleviate costs and make it more cost effective to be able to get trucks and cars to the racetrack. Why isn't all of that helping?
So look over there. Reid's a part of a truck team. So what insight can you shed on this for us, Reid?
I think there's a lot of factors other than just money, or that the fact that NASCAR is lowering the cost. I got 2 texts. I got two teams reach out to me to race Kansas. I could have been one of those trucks, but the thing is, they still want too much money just to go start and park. That's the thing. You make enough starting parking. You can make a profit if you tag along on somebody else's hauler or add it. If you already are sending a truck out there, put another truck in that trailer. These trailers are 60 feet long. You can put 2 trucks in there.
Right.
That's the thing is teams aren't going to go there unless someone's already paying. Unless they have guaranteed cash before they get to the track, they're not going to go anymore. And there's a lot of teams out there with trucks that are ready to hit the track, but that's the thing is they're just scared. So that's really the way that I see it.
To me, it's a frustrating and a concerning look. Is Corbin Forrester on that entry list?
No,
I don't think Corbin Forrester is on the list.
He ran all
second.
He ran all but
Reid
one.
even said earlier he was talking about how teams don't want to send trucks out there with rookie drivers who are trying to get seat time because what if they wreck that car or what if they wreck that truck?
Yeah.
And there's other bigger money races coming up that they would much rather run at than they would to try to spend the money to go all the way to Kansas.
That in tracks that Kansas is just a cookie cutter track. There are some things that are out there with Kansas. Mm-hmm. How it's flat going into 3, stuff like that. Right. But outside, it's just like another 1.5-mile track. You're not going to see a lot of people try to go to these 1.5 miles. The very beginning of the season, yeah. But as the season goes on, and the more times that the field is full, the less likely that people are going to come to a 1.5 miles. You see, because if the field's full, then these smaller teams are like, why would we even go? Why would we even try? We're not going to make the race.
Because they can't get in.
Right.
Exactly.
It's an interesting.
That's what happened. I can't remember what race it was. It was Homestead last year. Everyone was like, there's going to be 38 trucks. 38 trucks were registered for Homestead. And guess what? There were 32 because 6 of them backed out because they were like, there's no reason to even go.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not going to make it.
Well, that's why I hope that eventually NASCAR goes back to putting these trucks more on short tracks, because I really think that would bring the series back.
The hard part
in a hurry.
is Josh Rayum even raised the point on Twitter earlier today, and I can find that during the break, that he's not sure even being on a short track this weekend would actually alleviate the problem. But we'll talk about that a little bit more. I'll dig up what he said, and we can discuss it when we come back from this next break. Right now, we'll step aside, do a little business, and more Motorsports Madness, powered by mycomputercareer.edu, is going to roll on in just a couple of minutes. So don't go anywhere. We're back with more in a moment.
Do you love the sound of high-revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety. HMS serves a majority of NASCAR, IndyCar, and IMSA WeatherTech teams, as well as countless SCCA and club-level racers and driving enthusiasts throughout North America. Featuring world-renowned brands like Schubert helmets, Schroep belts, Adidas suits and shoes, Valero fireproof underwear, Lifeline fire systems, and even Racecom radio kits, HMS has the right product for your type of racing and your budget. Their representatives are experts on making your track driving as safe as possible. With locations in Mooresville, North Carolina, and Danvers, Massachusetts, the staff at HMS is always ready to take the time and help you find the right product for your specific safety needs. You have family and friends who care about you, so don't settle for second when it comes to motorsport safety. Just stop in to HMS Motorsport, visit them on their website at hmsmotorsport.com, or send them a message on Facebook. Tell them the folks from Race Chaser Media sent you.
What an awesome game. What's up with your car? I don't know. It won't start. How are we getting home? Chill. My parents signed me up for the roadside assistance from Louis Meineke. It was free with my oil change. They'd come and get the car started or get us home and tow the car to the shop.
Good to know. With my driving, my parents never know what to expect.
When you join the Meineke Car Care Club with a $35 preferred service, you get 4 free months of roadside assistance, including tire change, battery jump, lockout service, towing, and more. Contact Louis Meineke, located on Route 1, or call 827-2054.
When do you think of a plumber? Like most people, even if it's an emergency, you can be confident about who will arrive to help you. For quality and reliability, count on someone you can trust. Call on the plumbing services of Hague Quality Water of Maryland. Plumbing doesn't have to be an emergency. We handle all kinds of preventative maintenance too. Hague Quality Water of Maryland is family owned here in Annapolis since 1993. For a refreshing choice, call us at 888-84-WATER or visit us online.
COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, is a lung disease that robs people of their ability to breathe. As many as 24 million Americans suffer from COPD, also known as chronic bronchitis or emphysema, and half of them don't know they have the disease. If you or someone you love is over 35 and has smoked more than 100 cigarettes in their lifetime, visit driveforcopd.org and take the screener, then take that to your doctor. I'm Jeff Stoltz, and I drive for COPD.
Hi, I'm Noah Gregson, and you're listening to Motorsports Madness on PMN, the Performance Motorsports Network.
Welcome back to the Madness, and Chris has survived his first 2 segments of initiation. I'm so proud.
Yes. If he gets through the next 2, we take the rookie stripe off.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Live on the air.
Yes,
I was
live on the air.
That might be good enough for video. Almost. Nah. Who am I kidding? Jacob Seelman, Tom Baker, Randy Miller, and Reid Wilson. Reid, what are you doing? Never.
I found a new way to wear it. It's, it's actually pretty
The
comfortable.
lights are too bright. He can't take a nap unless he puts something over his eyes.
Well, we're not letting him take a nap until we're done.
At least he doesn't drive like that.
Yeah.
I do actually.
No.
I do the whole Ricky Bobby blindfolded thing. That's
I'm
what
on
we
fire!
do.
Help
That's
me,
what
I'm
we
on
do.
fire!
Yeah, we do that for the first round of practice. Is blindfold myself and
There you
I
go.
go out there.
You
knock
would
the
bring
clock
up a
wall around
Talladega
couple
Nights
times.
reference.
Yeah,
Back to what you were talking
Yeah.
about before the
Yeah.
break, because you found.
Yeah, I found something almost shocking in how wide the gap it is, Tom. I'm considering this, that driver with speed but either no luck or maybe a couple times has put himself into not very great situations. Somebody like Sheldon Creed, who's with GMS this year and whose teammate Brett Moffitt has done everything but win a race. Average starting position for the Deuce this year, 4.8. Average finishing position, 16.8, which would leave one 81 points back and 10th on the playoff grid, which is not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, Sheldon's had a tough season so far. I mean, last week, I feel like last week is kind of the microcosm of the season that he's had. He was leading the race with a good chance to win and spun out on a restart. You know, I mean, that's...
is that really what happened?
Yeah.
At Dover?
Yeah.
I was in
restart.
the hauler at that point.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, he spun out on a restart. It's just tough to, it's tough because he's been caught up in some things he hasn't caused. He's had some issues mechanically, but for the most part, I feel like Sheldon has put himself in situations where you don't necessarily want to be. And, Sheldon is a very aggressive racer, and I think he's still learning how to, how to do the endurance thing, and every lap doesn't need to be a time trial lap kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like once he gets that, then he's going to win a lot of races because he certainly has the talent.
Mm-hmm.
He just it's a combination of mental game and that ability, and I think the background in the off-road trucks and all of that is just it lends itself to a little different driving style than so he'll get there. But
it's interesting.
It's definitely been a tough year.
Because out of all the full-time drivers, he's led the second most laps so far this season behind Brett Moffitt, and third most laps of anybody in the series. Then there's Kyle Busch, who's led 473 of a possible 972 laps this year.
That's
Kyle Busch doing Kyle Busch things.
Yeah. By the way, there's one driver who's completed every lap of the first 6 races of the season. Can either of you two name that driver?
Let's see. I'll take a flyer and say Matt Crafton.
Good for you.
Oh. Wow. Good job.
I was going to say Ross Chastain.
You weren't even
Ross Chastain. I mean,
actually,
you start throwing Kyle Busch's name in there.
No,
right?
No, because Kyle didn't run the race.
No, Ross ended up one lap down. He was top 10. He's been top 10 in every race, but he ended up one lap down in one of those. I'm trying to remember.
Probably one of the Kyle Busch races.
In fact, I think that's what it was.
I don't believe it.
Yes, it was.
Oh, you know what?
It was Vegas.
I was there. Yeah,
it was It was Vegas.
He had a pit stop.
Who's the other driver?
Still finished.
You said there were two, right?
No, I said there was one.
Oh, one.
Matt
I thought that there was two.
There you go.
That's actually pretty impressive since Matt's had such a crappy year last year.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty good.
I should at least get a cookie.
I mean, that's an accomplishment for him.
He's done everything but, he, like Brett Moffitt's done everything but win. He's got 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s and 6 starts with the second best average finishing position of anybody not named Kyle Busch. So, the only guy better in average finish than him is his teammate, Grant Enfinger, who happens to be leading the standings right now. So
you were going to look up a quote, weren't you, during the break?
I was. Josh Rayum, as a matter of fact, because we were discussing...
that awkward
that's
silence
the
while
problem.
Jacob looks on his stat.
We're always discussing.
We were discussing during the last break, or before the last break. I'll get my brain rescrewed in eventually, about teams and the reason whether a short track would actually be a benefit. And I'm trying to find it.
So, what was the gist of what he said? Did he say that it would be or wouldn't be?
The gist of what he said was that he did not believe a short track would actually be the answer to the problem because it's actually more expensive right now to run a truck on a short track than it is to run it on a big track.
Why would that be?
There's a couple factors there. I mean, it makes sense. It could. I mean, but one thing that separates Josh Reaume from KBM is he doesn't do wind tunnel testing. He doesn't do a lot of stuff like that they do to prepare for a mile and a half. So those costs that for him, those are irrelevant. So that's one thing.
But he's entered for the mile and a half, and he says a short track would cost more. I don't know how that.
Well,
I don't understand how that would be.
Tire bills usually about the same.
Well, okay. But I guess it depends.
Body damage. Body damage is a big thing. You are always going to have that in Martinsville. Trust me. I've tried it twice. Came back, same result. Every corner dinged up, and I had a clean race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one thing that.
Here it is.
I mean,
found it.
There you
Okay,
go.
so
all right, so
I
I can quote Josh now. Seeing a lot of talk about the low truck count at Kansas this week and how the schedule needs to be fixed. The schedule isn't broken. From an owner's perspective, I think NASCAR made good changes to this year's schedule. The truck count at Kansas is low because teams cannot afford to run races on the purse alone. External funding is necessary to compete. As of mid-2018, attempts no longer have significance on provisional starting positions, which means teams don't feel forced to attend races. Would additional purse money help? Absolutely. But it is not, in all caps, NASCAR's job to keep teams in business. NASCAR provides a space for teams to compete and have a valuable marketing platform. It's the team's job to utilize that platform to secure the funding needed to bridge the gap. I believe the racer mentality sometimes gets people and teams in trouble. This is a business, and for teams to have longevity, they need to behave as one. Ultimately, I'm grateful for all the folks at NASCAR and the efforts they put forward to allow racers like myself to make a living in the sport I love. Nothing in the world is perfect, except my wife and unborn child. So how about all of the fans drop the negativity and be grateful for the sanctioning body?
Was that a tweet?
That was a
That was at 140.
It was a picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know how they do.
It was a picture of a note. Yeah.
He screenshotted the blog.
He has a special Twitter that allows you to continue with
that. It's a screenshot of a note.
That's why I don't tweet well, because that's how I talk.
What?
Right.
Paragraphs.
Anyway.
So he's basically attributing it to the fact that the purse alone doesn't cover the costs, and for whatever reason, teams can't get sponsors for races like Kansas, I guess is what he's saying.
Basically,
I mean, for a fact that is a thing. Like I said, teams won't go to the track just for a purse anymore, because the purse, it has dwindled. There's
no denying that. There's a reason NASCAR doesn't want. There's a reason NASCAR doesn't want those numbers out there anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand is like, if you win, cool, you get $40,000 in the Truck Series, something like that. You finish second, you get 25. Third, you get 20. Fourth back is like a separation of a couple grand. Every fourth back, you finish fourth in the Truck Series, one of the highest series in racing, and it's just,
it's peanuts, as they say.
Peanuts. You're literally not paying for what you spent to get there.
Stop and consider what Brad Keselowski said. He said even if he said when he had his team, even if you won a truck race, you weren't breaking even.
Well, he basically said even if you win the championship, you pretty much lose $1 million.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting discussion. I mean, it's kind of your mom is saying they need to quit relying on drivers to bring funds and the team needs to help find funds. See, I would completely, in my opinion, I completely disagree. I think it's good for the bigger teams who have the ability to hire somebody to help with that. Exactly. But most of the smaller teams don't have that. Mm-hmm. And so I think that what needs to happen is that drivers at the lower levels need to understand if you're going to climb the ladder in the sport, you're going to have to be a marketing person who uses motorsports to promote companies instead of being a race car driver who gets sponsors. It's got to be a fundamental shift there. It's no different to me anymore, and I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm just saying I'm observing the way it is. It's no different to me if you want to put your kid in the Olympics. If you want your son or daughter to be an Olympic athlete, it is not cheap. You've got years of coaching and training and traveling to competitions all over the country and equipment and whatever else, and nobody's going to sponsor that. It is what it is. And what I think we do need to do though is I think we need to make the cost as inexpensive as possible. And so for me, I feel like it's a matter of the less travel you have to do and the bigger the purse, the better. And NASCAR probably needs to work a little harder to find more purse money for the trucks and the modifieds particularly, because the modified tour suffers from the same thing.
It's gotten better.
It's gotten better, but it's not where it should be. And those two series are basically the lifeblood, I feel like, of NASCAR. When you get to Xfinity, it's dominated by Cup teams. And, of course, then you get to Cup, and, of course, that's never been a real cheap date, but it's ridiculous now.
Yeah.
So we got to control costs. I think that's the biggest thing is we got to control costs. But you can't, as a racer, you understand that that's part of the deal now. You've got to become willing and good at going out and finding those sponsors.
Yeah. I think it's just concerning to me that NASCAR has taken a lot of measures to curb costs, and yet we're still seeing this. And I hope it gets better quicker than I fear it's going to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think the new people involved will help that a lot.
I'm going to cross my fingers on that one, and I'm not going to start another topic because if I do, we're going to push the clock by about 3 minutes, and I don't want to do that to our rookie producer.
Now Chris is going to be throwing stuff at us, including me, and I don't want to be involved in that.
He's got a screwdriver within his reach. That's a little concerning to me, actually. I should have thought better about that before I let him over there.
You should have taken all the sharp objects away.
Oh, boy. On that note, we're going to step aside for a couple of minutes, and when we return, I vote we get to the Cup Series. We keep throwing that around. Let's do that on the other side of this. We'll be back with more Motorsports Madness in just a moment.
Everywhere you go, you hear it, and you see it. It's coming at you through your phone, your tablet, and your computer. It's broadcast from your favorite radio station, TV networks, and cable companies. It's in the stadiums, the arenas, the ballparks. It screams for your attention at the mall. It's interactive on Main Street. It's even coming at you from the gas pump at the nearby convenience store. What is it? It's digital content. It's digital content. It's digital content. Somebody has to create it. Somebody has to manage it. So whether your dream is to write it, design it, create it, call it, produce it, voice it, host it, light it, shoot it, switch it, record it, color correct it, edit it, code it, repurpose it, tweet it, blog it, post it, compress it, upload it, replay it, or make sure it gets to where it's got to go when it's got to get there in the format it's got to be in, you need to attend
Carolina School of Broadcasting.
The skills you will learn, the experience you will get, and the connections you will make at Carolina School of Broadcasting will open the doors to the career you want in digital content creation and digital content management. Call or come by today. Click csbradiotv.edu.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speed, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Jesse Love, and you're listening to Race Chaser Radio. Now back to the show.
So, if it ever stops raining in the Midwest, he might be able to race again.
Yeah. Well,
maybe.
Yeah, he got his super late model Southwest Tour race in last week, and actually was running.
It doesn't rain in California.
Yeah, well, it's raining enough in California. Yeah, it's rained enough there. He got that in and didn't get the result he wanted, but because he ended up with an exhaust port that was down about closed three-quarters of the way. So no power on the car at the end of the race, but he was up to second. So
he was doing
good.
Was doing good. Welcome back to Motorsports Madness, powered by mycomputerguru.edu. Jacob Seelman, Tom Baker, Randy Miller, Reid Wilson. at the table that, as Reid pointed out when he walked in, is no longer round. It hasn't been round since he was here last.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And before we get to the Cup stuff, I just want to read something out of the chat. We have, I'm going to say Billy because I don't want to mispronounce his last name, makes the point that NASCAR holds the rule books and can control the cost, but many times I feel they choose not to. He says this: I believe composite flange fit bodies is one way.
Which they're already doing.
Reid's going to nod at that because that's something that's already that we talked about last night. Also banning the use of tungsten for ballast. I wish they would. Lead costs about $2 a pound. Tungsten is $40 a pound. I have never understood why they allow tungsten in the first place. I think it's silly.
That's why it's banned in late model competition.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, Kerry Cooper asked us, I didn't catch the info on why short tracks cost more to run. It's not so much that they cost more to run. The analogy appears to be that they cost the same to run because, of course, the engines and tires don't know what size track it is, and it's the same cost. Those are fixed cost for no matter where you're going.
And then with the bodies, you have a lot more. It's not just more body damage; it's more wear and tear on all the equipment when you go to a short track as opposed to a bigger track like a Kansas or a Daytona, something like that.
But I still think the motors actually work less on a short track, so I do think you get more out of a motor.
I mean, from what I've heard, at least with the Omors, is that it's a certain number of mileage before you have to get them freshened and all that. So it really it is what it is, more or less.
Anyway, you want to talk Cup?
I do want to talk Cup, but before we talk Cup, information technology, Tom.
Information technology. That would be my computer career.
It would be.
Okay. So here's the thing: if you're looking for a first career, or a second career, or a third career, it doesn't matter. If you're just looking to change careers, here's what you do. You go to mycomputercareer.edu. They have a free career evaluation on that website, and all you got to do is take the career evaluation. If you decide to pursue a career in IT, it's pretty simple. You don't have to do it full time. You can do it a few days a week, either online or at one of their 7 locations. 7 campuses across the country. My Computer Career is not rocket science. It's training for a better life. They do offer financial aid if you qualify, including the GI Bill. And once you have all of your training completed, they work with hundreds of employers to place you with in your new career. You can be an IT professional in as little as 4 months. And here's the key stat here. There are still 2 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs in this country right now. So you could fill one of those positions in as little as 4 months by simply going to mycomputercareer.edu. Take your career evaluation test. If you decide to move forward, as little as 4 months. Mycomputercareer.edu is training for a better life.
And now let's talk Cup.
Okay.
Because we're going to Kansas, Toto.
Yes, that's right. Toto will be there, along with Dorothy.
Uh-huh. Not us.
Not us.
But
we're not going to be there.
No.
We'll be watching.
I have some numbers that would substantiate a claim. My claim is this. You're going to see the first team not named Penske, Gibbs, or Hendrick in Victory Lane this weekend.
Not named Penske, Gibbs, or Hendrick. Okay.
Lies.
No.
Reid doesn't buy your stats already. He hasn't even heard them yet. But go ahead.
No, he hasn't. The driver that I have my eyes on is one of the best at Kansas. He leads virtually every statistical category. He won this race last year, oh, by the way. And in the last 8 Kansas races, he's been in the battle for the win, pretty much the whole time.
Okay.
And it's the driver of the 4 car, Kevin Harvick, who I believe is going to win this race.
Maybe
on
that'll
Saturday
make him
night.
shut up.
Oh, wow.
Just saying.
Probably not.
We talked about that last night, and how he's just all about,
Well, I wasn't.
When he wins, he's happy Harvick. When he loses, he's unhappy Harvick.
Gee,
It's
that sounds like another driver we know, Kyle Busch. Anyhow, so please do tell Randy, because I wasn't privy to the opening episode of the Inside Pass yet.
No, we talked about how he had made comments basically, confirming everything that Kyle Busch said about how the package is horrible and that needs to be changed and the drivers aren't getting what they want. And it's like, I mean, I guess this year, yes, because you haven't won a race, you have reason to complain. But all last year, you were one of the most dominant drivers on the racetrack. Why in the world would you say the drivers aren't getting what they want? You get everything you want handed to you, and the fans don't get anything, really.
Exactly.
The fans complain about everything and get nothing in return, except for a 2020 schedule, which is pretty awesome. But other than that.
And my response was, hey, Martin Truex loves it.
Right.
Well, Martin Truex loves it because he's winning.
Only because it's Monday.
Sunday, that too. All right, so going back to my numbers, since joining Stewart-Haas Racing at the start of 2014, Kevin's results at Kansas look something like this. 2nd, 12th, 2nd, 16th, 2nd, 1st, 3rd, 8th, 1st, and 12th. That is pretty stout company.
Go ahead, Reid.
I would say compare those. So that's all of his races.
Yeah,
Kansas,
that's everything going back to when he joined Stewart-Haas.
Let's look at. I mean, you don't have to, but I'm just saying, look at his finishes last year. And how many races are we in now? 11, 10, what?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
look at his
you
first
want
10 races.
You want me to look to his first?
Look at his first 10 races
of last year.
Look at his first 10 races this
year.
year. That's the thing.
Aside from 31st at Daytona, first, crash out at Fontana, 5th, 2nd, 7th, 5th, 4th, 1st, and then 1st at Kansas. So by the time we left Kansas
that was last year.
Yeah, Kevin had 5 wins.
He had already won half the races in the season.
So now you look at this year, and it's not going to look like that.
No, it's not.
And Reid is exactly right, because here's what you can do with those stats. You can take them and throw them in the trash.
Well, his average finish so far this year isn't much different than what he had last year. He just hasn't been to victory lane, other than crashing at the super speedways.
I was going to say one plate race.
4th, 4th, 9th, 4th, 6th, 8th, one random 13th at Bristol, 4th, and 4th at Dover.
But
it's not like he's not been good.
But he's not winning. You got to look. I've always said, you last year you chased me for picks, for picking winners, because you keep wanting to look at numbers, and I keep telling you I believe what I see. And is Kevin Harvick incapable of winning at Kansas? No, not at all. He certainly could. But am I going to base that on anything previous to this year because the package is so different? No. Stats from previous years don't mean anything this year. Everything has been JGR and Penske, pretty much, and now Hendrick's starting to creep up there.
See, that's my bet.
And I think you could see a Hendrick car in victory lane at Kansas that isn't the 9 car.
No. Until somebody besides the 9 car actually wins from Hendrick, I'm not buying it. However,
Bowman's finished second twice already. So
yeah, well,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
We'll see.
Don't count Byron out either, because Williams going to win one eventually.
I don't care. It's not like Kevin has not been contending for several of these victories.
Well, that's
just
fine.
because he doesn't have a trophy
I'm not buying
does not
because
mean
of
he's
previous
incapable
stats.
of winning, and I believe he will win.
He's
on
finishing
Saturday
4th,
night.
so we know who you're picking. So let's go around the table then, since we've got Jacob's pick. Yeah. Randy, who would you pick at Kansas?
He's going to say
Kyle Busch.
Kyle?
No, I'm going to have to say Kyle because I feel like it's been too long since he's won. It's only been like 2 weeks, but I feel like he's overdue for a win already.
Reid, you want to toss a pick in there?
I'm going to say it's going to be Kyle Busch or somebody in the JGR camp.
Yep.
I just think
you got to pick one driver.
Okay.
This isn't politics.
Can I pick Kyle Busch as
You
well?
can.
Can I do that? All right.
Absolutely.
Because he kind of stole mine. That's not really fair. I thought we were going to go this way, and then he jumped in. And
yeah,
See,
if you want me to substantiate numbers on Kyle Busch, his last 8 races at Kansas.
First.
No. 3rd, 5th, 1st, 5th, 5th, 10th, and 2nd.
Yeah.
He's not been out of the top 10 in 8 races.
Last year, so
that's last year. This is this year. It's a different package, and Kyle Busch is mad. Kyle Busch is going to win at Kansas.
No, you know what? I'm going to change mine. I'm going to say Joey Logano. I'm just going to go on a whim.
Oh, you just made Chris really happy.
I'm going to say Joey Logano.
Score points for the producer.
I think it's going to be them because Penske's overdue for a win.
Well, Ryan Blaney's the one in that camp that really you would think would be ready to win again. But I just think
if you're asking me, can Ryan Blaney win at Kansas? Statistically, it's his best racetrack.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I think Ryan's got a good shot, but I believe Kyle Busch will win, but I'm telling you, the Hendrick cars are going to surprise everybody at Kansas. I really believe that. I think they're ready to start running up front, and I think coming into Charlotte, I would be really keeping an eye on the Hendrick camp again. And I can't believe I'm saying that.
I can't believe you're saying that.
But
either.
I've seen just enough. They're sort of getting better and better and better. You're seeing the qualifying come up. I believe that you're going to see one of those Hendrick cars break through, besides Elliott, break through for a win before we're done at Charlotte.
Wow.
So that could be either Kansas or the next
Charlotte.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Well, the All-Star race, are you counting the All-Star race?
It's still a race in Charlotte.
Okay.
Of course, the package is going to be different for that. So
It's not going to be
Who
Jimmy
knows?
Johnson. It's going to be one of the new guys.
Well, who knows? Because, with the new package they're putting in there, it's going to scramble everything again.
It's closer to what they want to do for Gen 7, by the way, which we can get to later. So Ryan Blaney liking Kansas. He's led laps in the last 4 Kansas races, has led double-digit laps in 2 of the last 4, started on the pole in the spring in 2017, and other than crashing out in the spring last year, 4th, 3rd, and 7th. He's been close.
Yeah. Ryan likes that track and has done really well there.
Yeah, and in fact, I think that crash in the last spring was the one where he and Kyle Larson got demolished in the same wreck.
I think
if
it was,
remember
yeah.
right.
I think you're right.
Oh.
Yep.
That was not fun. I remember that wreck. That was not fun.
Not fun.
Anyhow.
Not quite Larson's Daytona wreck, but it's not fun.
No, not fun at all. So, not a winner here, Tom, but I guess you kind of already alluded to it. Is there anybody besides Hendrick that jumps up and surprises us Saturday?
Honestly, my thought coming into this whole segment about Cup was that I was going to actually throw out the idea that maybe this is a week when Paul Menard shows something with the Wood Brothers. I mean, at some point, that's got to happen.
No.
And, the Penske cars have been fast.
You would think.
Maybe this is the week. I don't know. I mean,
my surprise would be Kurt Busch, because I feel like he's due for.
How is Kurt Busch a surprise?
Well, not really a
He's
surprise,
been
but I mean,
consistent all year.
considering
I don't know
that the whole year it's been Penske and Gibbs, to see him win
I
would
think
be
Kurt's
a surprise.
been the closest outside of that to a win.
Yeah.
He's the closest Chevy driver other than Chase now.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I'd agree.
I think Paul would be a shock.
Yeah, I'm still.
Paul would be a shock. That'd be like saying Reid Wilson's going to go out there and win the next truck race.
Well, no, okay, but you're not entered in the next truck race.
That's
the
exactly how
difference.
much of a surprise it'd be. Paul Menard won.
You have no faith in Paul Menard.
No,
Mark that down.
Reid as a driver, I just don't think that they have exactly what Penske has.
Hey,
I don't think
speaking
they
of being
have it.
entered in the next truck race, are you racing Charlotte?
Will not. No, will not
Aw.
be racing Charlotte. I believe the next one's going to be Iowa.
Okay.
So
Ooh,
I've been there
I
before.
like that track.
Iowa's fun.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
Need a break.
Yeah, we can talk about that more a little bit later because I'm excited about Reid's thoughts about Iowa. Right now, though, we do need a break, so we are going to step aside, and when we return, Motorsports Madness, powered by mycomputercareer.edu, rolls on.
When do you think of a plumber? Like most people, even if it's an emergency, you can be confident about who will arrive to help you. For quality and reliability, count on someone you can trust. Call on the plumbing services of Hague Quality Water of Maryland. Plumbing doesn't have to be an emergency. We handle all kinds of preventative maintenance too. Hague Quality Water of Maryland is family owned here in Annapolis since 1993. For a refreshing choice, call us at 888-84-WATER or visit us online.
Here at Lewis Meineke, we're more than just your average car care center. Hey, it's Dave, your neighbor from Lewis Meineke. Whether you need an oil change, brakes, tires, or anything under the hood, we've got you covered. Take advantage of our free check engine light service as well. Yes, free. And don't forget about our free shuttle service. Never stress, we'll take care of the rest. On with life. Give us a call at Lewis Meineke, 302-827-2054.
Is your job sucking the life out of you? Wake up. You can do something else. Information technology. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a math and science person. No problem and no excuses, because it's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. mycomputercareer.edu. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
Do you love the sound of high revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Riley Herbst, and you're listening to Race Talk on PMN, the Performance Motorsports Network.
Or Riley Herbst, if you're watching the I was like, guys, come on, man. The H is not silent here. Come on. Welcome back to Motorsports Madness.
And it's mad.
By mycomputercareer.edu.
That's my line.
Well, I just did it. Now you won't have to do it. I saved you time.
You were so disappointed in the Herbst thing that you didn't even know what was going on.
No,
Yeah,
no, I knew what was going on. He just took my steering wheel.
That's right.
That's a bad thing.
You hesitate for a moment, and I take control of the car.
That's just how it goes. It's cutthroat
Exactly.
industry.
In our chat, Billy
Yeah.
Goulet says he picks Kyle Larson to win at Kansas.
Billy,
Yes.
you're wrong.
I
You're
would.
wrong. Which camera is it? Billy,
I
you're
would
wrong.
say
Momentum.
I would classify that as a surprise, not because he doesn't
Hang
have
on a
the
minute,
speed.
Randy.
Momentum of
Randy,
what?
one race is a coincidence. Two is momentum.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, when he wins,
well, I don't know
on
if I-
Sunday or Saturday night, that'll be two races.
Alex
Everybody wants Kyle Larson to
Bowman
win.
has momentum. Kyle Larson does not have
Kyle had
momentum.
momentum at Daytona or at Talladega. I mean,
Yeah, he had momentum
Yeah,
right on
momentum.
over it.
Yikes.
Yes.
Flipping.
See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Everybody wants Kyle to win because right now he's the underdog because he's had such a bad season.
I would love to see Kyle win a race.
His
I
season's
just
going to be bad for a little while longer.
Yeah,
I just think it's going to happen.
he
They
just-
need to get their stuff together at that camp. Things are going wrong.
there's a
They're
there's
on
a lot
one
of
side
bad
of the
luck.
camp, but the other side of the camp isn't doing good.
Now, Kurt Busch is doing great.
there's
Yeah,
a
he's doing
voodoo
great.
doll somewhere with Kyle Larson's
Well,
face
somebody
on
was
it that
poking the
somebody's
crap
poking.
out of it
Yeah.
at Talladega.
He's very, very unlucky.
He must have made somebody mad.
You,
Rich
you,
Finney
you
blew his
realize
tire.
that Dale Earnhardt and company did that to Jeff Gordon one
It's-
year,
yeah.
right?
It's
They
probably
talked
Caitlin.
about that
Yeah.
during the FS1,
was
the
fun.
unrivaled feature.
That was fun.
It's probably Caitlin with the doll because is she pregnant still? Is she pregnant now?
No, they've got two babies.
Okay, they have two now.
Yeah.
So she's paying him back for 9 months. Of
No.
I'll teach you.
No. Come on.
okay. So do we want to talk to Reid about Reid?
now. Well, we can
about Reid?
definitely talk to Reid about Reid, but you forget this is a short
Oh,
segment
that's right.
transitioning into the second
That's
half.
right.
And if we
Come on now. Yeah,
we let Reid talk about Reid right now, Chris is going to start throwing sharp
We only got
objects.
15 seconds to go and then 30 more minutes of
We
commercial.
can't possibly tell Reid's story in 15 seconds.
No, that's not
Not
gonna be
even close.
Yeah. We're gonna let Chris send us away to business with America and the world, and we'll be back right after this.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm going to do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time.
What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Everyone knows Strutmasters is the suspension experts for luxury vehicles, and now we offer motorcycle products. Introducing Easy Rider Complete Motorcycle Air Suspension, brought to you by Strutmasters.com. You can raise and lower your bike with the flip of a switch. Take those long rides with the ultimate comfort of Easy Rider Air Shocks. They're backed by Strutmasters, and you won't believe the low price. Check out Easy Rider Motorcycle Air Suspension at Strutmasters.com.
Hi, I'm NASCAR driver William Byron. You're listening to Motorsports Madness on PMN, the Performance Motorsports Network.
Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing about William Byron.
Reid Wilson, ladies and gentlemen.
This man does not know how to do jumping jacks. All right? How do I know? I watched it. I watched it happen in Dover this past week. Okay?
Was this on
William Byron can't do jumping jacks?
Okay, so in between first and second truck practice, right?
Yeah.
William's not even supposed to be there till the next day, but he comes. The track's got this cool like stay active thing for a bunch of middle school, high schoolers.
Like a
Or
kid's
elementary, middle schoolers.
So William's age.
Yeah, pretty much.
He could pass for high school seniors.
So I don't know why they must have definitely not done a screening, because they let they let a whole 190 pounds of Reid Wilson up onto that stage that day to do jumping jacks and tell kids to
that's
stay active.
scary.
No, I mean, in my defense, I got a Planet Fitness membership. All right, okay.
You never use it, but you got it.
Let's get back into the real issue here, and that is the jumping jacks. So there's a stage on Miles the Monster. I didn't know if anybody knew that. I didn't know that, but they took us under this little rock tunnel thing, and we climbed up a ladder, and then boom, stage in front of like 300 kids, right? They start hitting us with these crazy questions like, what do you do to prepare before a race? I don't know, right?
Sleep.
The word of the day was stay active. So we were just like, we stay active, and we get ready by staying active and all that. And then at the end of all that, which I mean the kids were great. It was honestly a lot of fun. The end of it, we did 30 seconds of running in place, not running around, but running in place. But jumping jacks, squats, whatever.
And
William Byron did jumping jacks in reverse. I'm telling you, funniest thing I've ever seen. When I say in reverse, like you put your arms up and you spread your legs, right?
Right.
He did it. His legs were closed and he was like this. So it was like
So he was on the offbeat from everybody else, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah, exactly. It was hilarious. It was really funny.
Note to the next thing I'm going to harass William about when I see him in Charlotte in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
I just wanted to share that story. I think that it was very funny. It's just
Dishing dirt on William Byron, something that none of you thought you would be witness to when you tuned in tonight.
Kid might be able to drive.
I think we have to go away again, don't we?
Yes, we do, thankfully. We're going to take a break and be back with more madness, and it's mad right after this.
William Byron can't do jumping.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the Track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the Track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Is your job sucking the life out of you? Wake up. You can do something else. Information technology. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not a math and science person. No problem, and no excuses, because it's not rocket science. It's My Computer Career. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You can start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. mycomputercareer.edu. That's mycomputercareer.edu.
The Performance Motorsports Network is a compilation of shows about motorsports. From technical to controversial to just fun, everything you like about racing and gearhead stuff is right here on one internet channel. The Performance Motorsports Network. Tell your friends about it.
Hi, I'm Reid Wilson. Racing has been a part of me and my family for as long as I can remember. I had to make tough choices early on to get to the top. It took hard work and dedication. But it's those tough choices that help me prepare for challenges I would face as a cup driver. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Hi, I'm Todd Gilland, and you're listening to Race Talk on PMN, the Performance Motorsports Network.
Welcome back to Motorsports Madness.
I bet William can't do that either.
Powered by mycomputercareer.edu. That's Randy Miller. He's Tom Baker. I'm Jacob Seelman, and
Reid Wilson.
Yeah, him. I almost called you talented, and then I stopped myself.
The inimitable and one-of-a-kind Reid Wilson.
He is one of a kind, that's for sure.
I told you I was going to give you a show today. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, so while I'm figuring out about William Byron and the jumping jacks, because I have that power, Tom, talk to Reid about Reid for a second, because we really haven't done a lot of that yet.
No, we really haven't.
And we should.
We've got an audience here that probably hasn't really heard a lot about Reid other than what they've seen of him on TV. So you're running in the truck series this year with Niece Motorsports.
Yep.
This is your first year of doing that. It's a part-time schedule. Talk a little bit about how all of that came together.
Well, so I started running in the truck series last year after my short K&N East career. I did, 4 races? 3-4 races last year with Young's Motorsports.
Yep.
Awesome team. Awesome thing that they're doing over there. I love Tyler Young and everything that he's doing. But, time goes on. Things change, and people go apart and do their own thing.
Yep.
So actually got to talk to Al Niece towards the end of last season, and he's a really great guy. Really great guy. A veteran, and I don't know, just a really down to earth man. Runs a water truck, builds water trucks out of Texas. So and that's perfect with the sponsor that I have, True North Aftermarket Warranties, which is aftermarket warranty for Class 3 trucks and above. So with those two businesses coming together, why not go racing together as well?
Sure.
And that's what we got into, and it's really been a cool ride. We brought Ross Chastain on, which Ross ran a couple races for Nice last year towards the end. Did really well, and they wanted to see what would happen this year, and obviously it's been pretty cool. It's
phenomenal.
It's been very cool to be a part of, and I'm so happy to be there to learn.
So this deal really spawned, and I think about this phrase a lot, but I feel like it really applies in this particular situation, but a lot of business to business between True North and Al Niece as far as his company side away from the racetrack.
Yeah. That, and we bring a lot of clients out to the track, or potential clients, and really show them a really good time. That's really, we were talking a little bit earlier about drivers have to bring their own sponsors, and they have to know how to market, and that's part of it. You've got to just understand how to put two and two together, like Al Niece and True North, right? And that's really the basics, the kind of the mold of what is NASCAR today is that business behind the scenes.
It's really been an interesting season for you guys with Niece Motorsports, because obviously Ross has run very well. Timothy Peters ran the 44 truck.
Yeah, he ran pretty well.
In the early part, ran pretty well. There have been a couple of other drivers mixed in there. Angela Ruck running this weekend at Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a good run last week. We're in top 15, top 20.
Run top 20. We were aimed up to end up around 15th position, but just bad luck happens. Had an alternator wire melt about lap 130. So that's just out there.
In the category of just random things that happen.
Yeah, but it was my first time at Dover. It was fantastic. It was an incredible experience. Definitely loved it.
I was going to say, what did you – because I don't even think you ran at Dover in the K&N car, did you?
No, never ran Dover.
What was your first impression?
I actually went the day before, took a walk around the track. I was like, this place ain't bad. Talking about some drop and everything.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing. I walked the track. I was like, whatever.
And then you got out there for first practice.
I got out there, and they're like – and I left. I lifted, and that was my first mistake. I came in, and they're like, you're lifting. I was like, what do you mean? It's a corner. They're like, no, you lift, but like the half throttle. That's it. I'm like, really? So that's a little scary. The drop's not bad if you're just going off, but if you're flooring it over that drop and then into the corner, then lifting just not like that, but you're lifting to literally 25% throttle. Off, your 75% throttle.
Lifting.
It's nuts.
75.
It's nuts.
That
it's
moment
crazy.
of, boy.
You get into the corner and your back compresses and you feel yourself get a little bit shorter. That's oh, dude, it's nuts. It's crazy. It's really fun. It's kind of like Bristol, but it's just not. It's not like Bristol.
It's Bristol on steroids. Is really what it is.
Essentially, yeah. I like Dover more than I like Bristol, but I've never really had a good race at Bristol. I've only ran that one time in a K&N car, and I hated it. The car just wasn't handling, and that's what Dover's like. Because if the car is not if the car's not close to perfect, you're gonna just have a handful of wheels the whole time. It's horrible.
Not a good day.
But you've got to. The thing is you've got to. You got to tell yourself I love the track. Yeah. Can't say I hate it.
That is true.
I went through this. We had Chase Cabry on here just before he went to Bristol this last time in the K&N car. And he was like, I hate Bristol. I said, you can't. You got to love it. He okay, fine. I love it. And he went and finished second. So, see, that's how you do it. That's how you do it right there.
You just tell yourself you're going to love
Half
the place.
of this is a mental game. Yeah, exactly. And Chase Cabry actually is in the chat.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Or I guess I can tell. What's up?
So, talking about your year, you haven't been able to be in the truck but a couple times so far.
Yeah.
But how much have you soaked in and been able to learn from guys like Ross and Timothy Peters who have been a part of the team and been able to be resources for you so far this year?
Definitely a lot. Ross is close to my age. Timothy's, he's up there. He's all, but Timothy's
don't say that too loudly.
No,
he's a veteran.
He's awesome though. Timothy is a lot more helpful than I thought he would be. Like he's just a very nice guy, very kind and genuine person, and he obviously knows his stuff. So that was really cool to be, especially since I'm running the same number that he was. And he might be running for Niece in the near future. Who knows? It'd definitely be nice to have him back. It's cool. Like I said, it's cool to get to talk to him. Have I been able to utilize everything that I have learned? No, because I haven't been to mile and a halves. I haven't been to the tracks that they went to at the beginning of the season. But like at Dover, I was in the garage. I was parked right next to Ross. And I'd get out of my truck and he'd get out of his, and he'd be like, "Oh, you got to do this and this." I picked up a second just right out the gate.
I bet,
because of what Ross told me. And,
sure.
And it's the truck series in NASCAR. It's weird. It's just a whole different type of racing than what you do with short tracks. Completely different. So you got to throw all your knowledge out and rebuild. from the ground up. And Ross and Timothy and Cody Efall, the crew chief and general manager at Niece, all of them, they've been doing a great job at helping me get along and definitely learning.
Who was your crew chief for the 2 races you've run so far?
Cody Efall. So he is.
Yeah, Cody
crew
knows
chief
his stuff.
Yeah, he's very good.
So he's over the 44?
And Phil Gould is over the 45.
Oh, wow.
See, that was the huge acquisition that I felt like really, Ross and I were talking about this a bit at Martinsville. Phil Gould's resources and knowledge coming over to Niece Motorsports this year, I feel like has been a direct, indirect correlation with how far the program has stepped in such a short time.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what Ross has done in 6 truck races this season, and I feel like Phil, with his knowledge base, has really been a big part of making that happen.
It's definitely interesting talking to Phil because he comes from Xfinity, and there's a lot more rules in Xfinity. So
I was going to say, for him, it's probably easier because it's less things that he has to get right.
I remember we went to one track, and we went through tech and everything. He's like, we can get away with that? Okay, well, we'll come back next week. And,
see, now that you just said that, maybe if NASCAR Tech is listening, 44 trucks could have way more, or 45 trucks could have way more scrutiny at Kansas.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's a genius, man. He's very, very smart. And I see Cody leaning on him a little bit because, I mean, Phil's just, he's like I said, he's smart. He knows what's going on.
I feel like Phil is
hang on.
under-respected. Uh-oh.
Breaking news.
Oh, no.
And we can talk about it more on the other side of a break.
Oh.
Well,
new rules in the truck series.
See, he's going to rule change.
No. This is actually good news because we were talking about the short field. It's less short now.
Oh, it's not full.
It's not full, but it's less short than what it was. Now, I'm going to do some digging during the break, and we'll tell you who got added to the Truck Series entry list when we come back. Motorsports Madness, powered by mycomputercareer.edu, rolls on in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speeds, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety. HMS serves a majority of NASCAR, IndyCar, and IMSA WeatherTech teams, as well as countless SCCA and club-level racers and driving enthusiasts throughout North America. Featuring world-renowned brands like Schubert helmets, Schroep belts, Adidas suits and shoes, Valero fireproof underwear, Lifeline fire systems, and even Racecom radio kits, HMS has the right product for your type of racing and your budget. Their representatives are experts on making your track driving as safe as possible. With locations in Mooresville, North Carolina, and Danvers, Massachusetts, the staff at HMS is always ready to take the time and help you find the right product for your specific safety needs. You have family and friends who care about you, so don't settle for second when it comes to motorsport safety. Just stop in to HMS Motorsport, visit them on their website at hmsmotorsport.com, or send them a message on Facebook. Tell them the folks from Race Chaser Media sent you.
Hi, this is John Ondrasik of Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody's business. So please, plan ahead, designate before you celebrate. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Cody Connor, and you're listening to Race Chaser Radio. Now back to the show.
See, now we're getting down to it. We got some blues going.
Except you weren't a guitarist, you were a drummer.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't mean I'm not inspired by guitarists. It just means I can't play one to save my life.
No.
I took keyboard lessons. My keyboard teacher told me I should be a drummer. She had no idea I actually was.
See, I took
wanted
piano.
to be Jerry Lee Lewis. I wasn't interested in Tchaikovsky.
I took piano lessons and actually was not terrible at it. But
well, you're a good musician. You play trumpet or did.
I still do.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I could rock trumpet. Back in 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Reid was a trumpet player.
Oh, yeah. I got about 3 trumpets back at home from the old high school days.
That's interesting. You and
school,
Jacob should talk more about that sometime.
Yeah. But
we bond over trumpets.
Yeah, but this isn't the trumpet. This is the trumpet chaser. So, brass chaser.
Yeah.
That's a good name. We should start a trumpet podcast.
I thought he was going to say a band. A trumpet band.
Trumpet band.
Lord help us all with that.
Nothing but trumpets.
So if you're just wondering why this show is called Motorsports Madness, now you know. Because
that's why we added madness.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just motorsports.
We frequently go mad, and then we get back on track, and we go off the rails again.
Jacob Seelman, Tom Baker, Randy Miller, Reid Wilson. Yeah.
Wilson.
Reid's practicing his bass voice.
Or his movie voice.
Reid Wilson. Are we still talking about Reid, by the way? No, we're talking about the truck list.
We were talking about that. Apparently, Tom was smarter than a 5th grader, and .com had the updated entry list before they decided to hand it out to anybody else. So what he read earlier was actually 30 trucks, even though the numbered entry list only said 27 at the time. The quote-unquote late entries were the 2nd Jennifer Jo Cobb truck, the 0 of Joey Gase, the 1, the Beaver Motorsports truck of Bailey Curry, and the 3rd Niece Motorsports truck, the 38 of TJ Bell.
Yes.
And that does not include the 7 of Corbin Forrester, who was on the preliminary entry list and withdrew.
Yeah, heard he withdrew.
Yep.
Now we have 30, which is better than 27.
That's correct. Yeah, it's almost a full field. Not quite.
Yeah, we're minus a row, but it's almost a full field. I'll take almost a full field.
Yeah, it still should be a great race. I mean, the truck series, even at 27, let alone now we have 30, is still, in terms of, I feel like competition, it's still deeper this year than I feel like it's been in a long time.
Ooh, I have a suggestion for the truck race, by the way.
Okay.
We were talking about cup picks earlier, and we went around the table, and I have a suggestion about the truck race. In particular, somebody who's owed about 3 at Kansas.
Okay.
And he's going to win because ThorSport's on a roll. Ben Rhodes.
Okay, you're picking Ben Rhodes.
I am absolutely picking Ben Rhodes.
Randy, go ahead. Who are you picking for the truck race?
He took my pick.
Well, you can agree with him. You don't have to take something different.
Ben's gotten screwed out of a win 2 years in a row at Kansas. If he doesn't win this time, I'm just going to say that track hates him.
Actually, I was gonna go out on a limb and say Stuart Friesen.
He needs one, too.
That's really going that far on a limb.
Dude, I feel like every single race I see Stuart Friesen almost win.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost win.
Because he does almost win.
Ben
He's
Rhodes,
finished second more
he's
times than
Alex
anybody.
Bowman right now.
Ben Rhodes is an interesting pick, but that kid's the most unlucky driver I've ever met.
Right?
He really is.
The most unlucky driver I've ever met. Like there was one season he should have won like 6 races, and like a bolt went through his radiator. And
that was That was Kansas.
That was Kansas.
That was Kansas.
You know what? It's just going to happen again. Another bolt's going to
go
through his radiator.
Don't say that.
That's just
Ben,
what
if you're listening, I don't believe that's going to happen. I promise.
An awesome kid.
If it really does happen, it's going to be like
it's Reid's fault.
It's Reid's fault.
Tom, who are you picking?
I'm actually going to go with 1.5 mile Matt.
Crafton?
I'm picking Crafton.
Wow.
He might have a heart attack if he goes that high up in the standings. He hasn't had a win in a while.
I'm gonna
2017 Eldora. It was the last time Matt Crafton won.
Crafton.
Hold up, is Ross Chastain racing?
No. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I have to. Legally I have to pick Ross Chastain, But
you know what? I would believe it. I would believe it.
Oh, yeah.
I really would.
I
It
probably
would
would
not.
cry.
No, I mean Ross is gonna run top 5. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's happening here with that because I'm really intrigued by one of these weeks Ross is going to win. One of these weeks that's going to happen.
Yes.
I would cry. I will probably cry
If
when
I'm
he
not
wins.
at the track, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
I
And-
said Chris was having a seizure over there, and I was trying to figure out why.
Well,
he was trying to mime.
it was
and
the 4.
Yeah. He was.
He's-
I knew we had more than 4 minutes left. He's referring to the 4 of Todd Gilliland.
He's picking Todd to win, and I got to tell you that if
that boy ever wins, he's
Todd
going to win a
needs
lot.
to win worse than probably anybody else in the series, other
Yes.
than maybe Stuart Friesen.
Yes.
Todd just needs to get it already. And I
Yeah.
think he can do it. I think the
He
KBM
can.
trucks will be
I
very
think the
strong.
ARCA. I think the ARCA win at Talladega's maybe
There
rejuvenated
again, a
him a
little
little
momentum.
bit.
I don't
Yeah.
know, dude. KBM just seems weak this year. Kyle. Okay,
They're
Kyle
not
Busch
weak.
is in a league of his own. All right, all right. Take
That
this.
he's not wrong
Kyle
about.
Busch is over there. All right. KBM's back here. It's just they have young drivers that are still learning, and I think that's really pretty much it. You know, you've got a lot of veterans that are going to be dominating this.
I mean, I think Todd's been weak, but I think like Harrison Burton has had some really good runs
finished
lately.
third at Dover.
Yeah,
he's been all right. But I just don't like KBM doesn't scare me the way they used to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
like you
but you
you're
know
just
what?
Like, KBM's going to.
I prefer to think that some other teams have caught up a little bit.
Yes.
the Elmore
no,
Motors and
okay.
some of the other changes they made. I think
Yes.
that's where
I'd agree
you
with
know,
that. I would
because I
agree
even
with you
think
hard on that.
it isn't going to be too long before the Young's Motorsports trucks start contending for wins. I think. You know,
I hope you're right.
I mean, I think they're close.
I hate watching Tyler Dipple, Gus Dean, and Spencer Boyd.
racing
Wow,
around
that
in-
took me a second.
I was
You
gonna say,
hate to see him
Sorry,
racing around
Spencer.
with Reid Wilson.
Yeah, I just hate to see them not where I feel like they are capable of being, because all 3 of those drivers I feel like are capable of running for top 5 finishes, and just it's puzzled me this year why that team has been off.
Well,
compared to where they were at the end of last year, where Austin Hill really had at least the 0-2 truck in the top 10 on a regular
But see, I
basis.
would suggest that the expansion to 3 full-time trucks is what's taken some time to kind
Fair.
of get everybody on the same page.
I think that's what makes the Truck Series exciting this year is because there's so much competition.
Right.
Like it's not a core group of 4 or 5 drivers that can win every week. It's a group of 15 drivers that can probably win. a race
I mean,
every
if you
given
go
week.
and you look at the qualifying results, practice results, the whole field's within a couple tenths, less than that.
Yeah.
It's just as tight as the Cup field. If
Well,
not
that's what
even-
I'm saying.
That's the thing is like it's crazy.
The races have all been fun to watch.
That's why I'm saying the veterans are going to dominate for the first half of the season. It's going to happen because they know how to get it done. They know what they need to do each race during the race. I can tell you because I'm a rookie. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I don't know how long it's going to be like that. And I can vouch for the guys that are up front racing with Matt Kraft. And yes, Harrison Burton's been in there for a couple years, but he's not. He hasn't been in there.
Harrison
for 20.
hasn't. Todd has.
Todd's been.
Well,
in there
no,
for
Harrison has. He's run partial schedules.
Partial.
Todd's been in
Todd
there for
was
a couple
full-time
years.
last year.
But
Yeah.
it's
Second
still a
full-time
whole
season.
different. Todd's right there to where he's consistent. He's consistently fast. He just needs to stop making errors.
Yeah.
And
some of the bad luck's not his fault.
Right.
Some of it's not his
Certainly
fault.
wasn't last year.
No.
But
Grief.
that's the thing is like that's what separates these veterans. That's why Johnny Sauter's going out there and killing it, and you see Matt Crafton up front for this first half of the season. It's just how it's going to be until these young guys get it through your heads. What's going on? You see that every year.
As a group, I feel like has
doing
been
great.
about the strongest.
Oh,
doing great.
absolutely.
They're doing fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thorsport's
they're really.
As Ben told me at Atlanta, we're back. There is no more we're weak from the fire. We're back. We're
And
here
again,
and we're staying.
I think the 2 GMS trucks are. I believe both of them get to victory lane before
I
the
do
end
want
of
to
the
point
season.
out, only team to finish top 10 this entire season
45.
of the Truck Series is the 45 truck at Niece Motorsports.
Yep.
I'm just saying, man, they're sleeping.
Well,
they're sleeping, but
again,
Ross Chastain's there.
That's what I've said all along. It's funny
sleeping on
because Ross, if you look back, obviously hindsight's 2020. You declare Truck Series points, and holy cats!
Yeah,
I
he's
talked to
in
him.
it.
I haven't
He's in
talked
it.
to him about that, but I bet you he's pretty
Well,
upset about his
Ross told me after the Martinsville race, had he known before the start of the year what he knows now, he'd have declared for truck points all day long.
But you don't know, and that's the thing. You know, he's been a very pleasant surprise.
And in the situation he was in, you had to go for Xfinity because you didn't know what like you said, you didn't know
he knew what he
what
had
you could
in
have had.
Xfinity. He doesn't know what he has in Cup, and he didn't know what he has in
Right,
trucks.
exactly. By the way, just for comparison of experience's sake, the Harrison Burton versus Todd Gilliland thing. Todd Gilliland has 31 career starts in a truck, including this year. Harrison Burton has 21. He's not that far behind.
but I'm just saying Todd was the more experienced of the two.
As far as full-time experience, he's not more experienced by much.
Yeah.
Harrison's been in a truck going back to 2016. Todd doesn't even have that.
Neither of them have even raced the amount of a full Cup schedule, and we're talking about experience.
This is true.
See, that's the thing.
This is true.
They seemed like Todd seems like he's a veteran at this point because he's been there for 2 years, but he's only been there for 2 years.
Right.
You know, Matt's been driving around kids like Todd Gilliland for 20 years.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Almost.
That was my point. So
fair, and that's a fair point, Reid. I will absolutely give you that. We got about a minute left before we get to dig into our lightning round, which I'm really looking forward to because, well, we get to talk. We get to at least mention IndyCar because they have the Grand Prix this weekend, and unfortunately, Doug Bowles has said that they're not closer to a title sponsor for the Grand Prix, which is sad. But we're crossing our fingers that's going to come because I actually. Can't believe the purist in me is saying this, but the Grand Prix has become a welcome addition to the month of May that I didn't think it was going to a couple years ago. There, I said it. Somewhere, Joel, you're welcome. I finally admitted it, okay?
There's a Grand Prix coming up.
I'll explain later.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you've never been a fan.
I like tracks where you can pass.
What's an IndyCar?
Well,
is it kind of like that music where it's independent?
No.
Is that what Indy is?
Sorry, Reid.
Okay.
We're going to take our last break. When we come back, our lightning round will take center stage, and we'll probably cause a little bit more trouble, because that's what we do. Motorsports Madness, powered by mycomputercareer.edu. Back after this.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper cars, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Automotive technicians and auto service trainees, how would you like to work at the beach and perform for one of the best car care centers in the nation? Louis Meineke is now looking for skilled automotive technicians to join their award-winning team. If you're a gearhead that knows his or her stuff or a young up-and-comer that has the motivation and drive to succeed, then you need to make this call today. 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center, located in beautiful Lewis, Delaware, offers a highly competitive compensation plan, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and did we mention that you're going to be working at the beach? Plus, there's a signing bonus for the right candidates. Technicians must be ASE certified and have a minimum of 6 years experience. Beginners advance at your own pace in one of several entry-level positions. But whatever you do, don't wait. These jobs will go fast. Call Tim at 302-827-2054. That's 302-827-2054. Louis Meineke Car Care Center. Rev up your career.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right. It's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit coopercorvettes.com.
How to deal with someone who says that's so gay. Outsmart them.
This party is like so gay. Totally.
Excuse me, but did you ladies know the word gay used to mean happy or excited? Then it became a word used to describe gay people. Then somehow it came to mean dumb or stupid, which is how you just used it, which is not very nice.
Ew, that guy is on the football team and super smart, and he totally hates us now. Totally.
When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off. Learn more at thinkbeforeyouspeak.com.
Hi, I'm Zane Smith, and you're listening to Race Talk on the Performance Motorsports Network. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Motorsports Madness, powered by mycomputercareer.edu. Jacob Seelman, Tom Baker, Randy Miller, Reid Wilson, who, bless you, child.
Been changing it up every single time we come back.
Well, I'm going to let you change it up to where you look presentable and let you give your thank yous and stuff before we get into our lightning round and cause trouble. That way we don't forget. So, who helps Reid Wilson get to the racetrack? Sponsors, supporters, all that good stuff.
First off, I did say Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Rita Wilson, earlier, but I would also like to say it to my mom's mom, Miss Helen Shirley. So
she's been in our chat tonight.
Has she?
Yes.
Has she? Well, I wanted to make sure that she was included on that. I was thinking about it, and I was like, she's not my mother, but she's my mother's mother, my grandmother. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Give it up for Helen Shirley. Everybody give her a round of applause, Jacob.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Exactly.
I need a little bit more warning if you want a round of applause. Chris can make up a sign or something. That's what we need, Randy. Applause sign.
I'll make that happen.
But of course, True North.
Yes.
Big thanks to them. My mom and dad for getting me to obviously get my mic closer.
I can hear him.
True North. True North for getting us to the track this year and last year. They've been fantastic. Al Niece for giving me this opportunity. Paul Jr. Designs for getting me this dope hat. True North, the awesome bikes that they have. If you haven't watched the episodes on American Choppers with the two True North and MyTruckWarranty.com bikes, you should definitely check them out. They're in this last season that Paul Jr. just had. But yeah, I think that's really pretty much it. If you're out there, you own fleets of trucks or own you are independently contracted, definitely look into True North and True North warranties. It definitely can benefit you, and they'll always get you home.
So I'm going to be that guy and make the point that I was the guy standing at Daytona at the end of the race where Barry, Reid's dad, brings Paul Jr. over. And, of course, I haven't seen the show, so I had no idea who he was. I shook his hand and went on about my business.
You mean like Dale Jr.? Dale Jr. is the only junior that anybody knows in NASCAR. But Paul Jr. is definitely – He's an amazing guy. He's so cool, down to earth, really, really cool to talk to, and he makes amazing.
I will say I did enjoy talking to him, even if I didn't know who he was at the time. That was a fun conversation.
I'm still trying to convince the guys at True North to let me ride one of the bikes, but they say that it's
moving on before anybody gets any.
I think they've already figured out that's not a good idea.
Yes. Lightning round, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ka-chow.
All right. So. I brought up the Grand Prix. We're going into year 6, and Tom is still not a fan. I've become more of a fan. Randy, I guess, is probably indifferent because we don't let him talk about IndyCar enough.
No, it's fine. I feel like the whole month of May should be about the Indy 500 and Coke 600, and that's it. I don't feel like there should be anything else going on.
Oh, let the Indy 500's in May, huh? That's it. I remember now, no, because growing up, I remember like Tony Stewart's like going to the Indy 500, then the Coke 600.
He did that one year.
The doubleheader.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a triple header. Because isn't F1
Monaco
in
the morning, Indy.
Monaco at like 5 in the morning, and then
Monaco for breakfast, Indy for lunch, and Coke 600 for dinner. That's how that works.
That's how that works.
Yeah. So here's my lightning round question for the two of you.
Okay.
In 5 runnings of the Grand Prix, we've only seen 2 drivers, Simon Pagenaud and Will Power, go to victory lane. Do one of them win, or does somebody else win?
Are you talking about the Grand Prix?
The Grand Prix, yeah.
Elio Castroneves, in his first time on the track, will win the race.
Patience, is he actually entered for the Grand Prix?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
In that was not made clear or not clear, so I'll give you that, Randy.
I don't know. I'm assuming that Will Power was entered. If he is, then
he's a full-time car.
Yeah.
So
okay,
yes,
that's what I
entered.
figured. Yes. So my pick is Will Power.
Yeah, I'm not taking the field. Will Power wins and makes it 3 in a row and 4 out of the last 5. Just saying.
Just saying. Well, we know Chris is going to pick Will Power. We don't even have to ask.
Exactly.
Yeah. Chris is picking Will Power.
I picked Juan Pablo Montoya.
He's not racing.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not running
okay.
IndyCar anymore. Oh, well.
What does he do now?
Sports cars. So you got to get out more.
Yeah.
Pay more attention to the internet.
Oh. Well.
Wait. You want Reid to pay attention to the internet. He struggles
Only
enough.
the racing.
Yo,
part.
I look at a lot of memes. I'll tell you that. I pay attention to a lot of memes.
Memes can be funny.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes.
they're always
stupid,
funny.
too.
I'm sure Jacob
Anyway.
can make you one so you can stare at it from now on, and then you'll get a little bit of an idea.
Lord,
Yeah, give me
Reid,
all of my
Reid
race
would
information and memes, and I'll
Where
know
are you
exactly
going?
Well,
what it
the problem is
He's a
if-
meme reader.
The problem is if we made Reid into a meme, then he would think he's important.
No, I actually have from Martinsville. I went through all the pictures that I got of myself at Martinsville. I'm not self-centered. I don't mean pictures that I get. Listen, there's a photographer. And they send me over, and that's how we do all the posts and media stuff. I'm not just hiring people to take pictures of me all day. That's not the main goal. Anyways, I found like 40 perfect meme faces, and I've used them. I've sent them to teammates and friends and stuff. I think it's quite funny. I think I'm a very memeable person.
I agree.
If you really
you
pay
are
attention.
a very memeable
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
Not wrong about
Yes.
So there's about 40
Next-
memes of Reid Wilson running around the internet somewhere.
Probably.
probably.
Do we have
All
another
right.
lightning round
Yes,
question?
we do. We have a couple. Grade. We're 11 races in now. Grade the Cup Series through the first 11 races on an A to F scale.
Are we talking about the quality of the racing?
Yes, quality of racing.
B minus.
I would say B, just a B, not plus or minus, just straight B.
Wow, y'all are nicer than me.
Uh-oh.
C minus. I have
C
not
minus.
been impressed. The only
Chris
race
is agreeing with
the
you.
only race I'm giving an A to is Talladega. Everything else has left a lot to be desired. In fact, there are a few races I'd go so far as to give an F. So
Wait, are
far
we talking
this
about
year.
Cup?
But
Yes.
I think, isn't that
I'm sorry,
normal,
I blanked
though?
out for a minute. I thought we were talking about it. Wait, whoa. You're going to give it a what now?
I'm giving the average grade for the Cup Series so far this year a C minus. I've just not been that impressed. I haven't been.
See, I said B minus, and I thought I was being a little tough. I mean, I think the green
give it
flag.
an A.
Listen, green flag passes for the lead across the board in the Cup Series this year, up 46%. So
Pit
I'm looking
stops.
at that. I'm
if-
looking at
if
that
you had a way
green
to-
flag passes
don't
for
care.
the lead are up. Did you not hear
I
the
don't
green flag?
I
part?
don't care.
They don't count pit
that-
stops.
Yes, they do. That's the problem. That stat counts green flag.
But
pit
it always
cycles.
has counted
Right.
pit stops.
So, however, it
There's
counts
more
they're
green
up-
flag.
Are there more pit stops?
Yes, there are this
There's
year
more
because
pit
there's been
stops
less
during
caution
green?
flags. There have
I
been
don't-
more.
I don't believe that.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
I do
Wait a
because I
minute.
check loop data.
He
The
just
green
turned me. He just turned me right there. with
green
that.
green flag pit
I
flag pit cycles are up this
Hey,
year compared to
Reed's
previous
wrecking over
years.
there. You might want to throw the caution flag for a second. He's about
Yeah.
to flip.
I'm not buying that. I just feel like you're just being a little bit too tough. I feel like the racing by and large has been better this year. There have been certain races, I agree, that were stinkers. But for the most part,
I never had a problem with the qualifying. I don't know what.
See-
like Auto Club, I thought that was cool.
see,
When I watched it, I was like, dude, this is dope. They're waiting until the last minute. Oh, none of them are making it to the line. I thought that was really fun, but I never put in
That
my
was
input.
qualifying.
Everybody was like,
See, I'm
that's
not-
horrible.
I was
See,
never into the group qualifying. I'm thankful NASCAR went back to single car qualifying.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because the teams made a joke of it.
Yeah,
They
you're
did.
right. You're right.
Made a joke of it.
But I don't know. I feel like the racing this year has been really good. I give
Yeah,
it an A. I give it an A. I mean,
give it an A?
it's turned into like I come back from the track and I go and I now watch the NASCAR, the entire Cup race with my friends. We get wings, we get pizza. That is becoming a tradition again, and that
Well, it's good.
I used to not. I used to just watch the
And
highlights.
see,
you know?
that's an interesting perspective coming from a driver who says, "Hey,
Christopher,
good stuff."
grade it.
Oh, putting me on the spot. I
Yes.
would say it's I'd say C plus.
Oh, so you were a little nicer than me, but not much.
Yeah, I feel like B minus C plus
There's
is
a few
about the
tracks
same.
in there where it's been shady, and there's a few tracks in there where it's been pretty good. So C plus.
Dover was very shady. It was not good.
See, I think you were harder on Dover than I was. I like Dover.
But
Not
Phoenix was
according to Jeff Gluck's was the race a good race poll.
Whatever.
Phoenix was great.
Just sharing my opinion.
You know, I'm excited to see how a couple of these, because we still haven't been to all the different tracks. You know, we've been to 1.5 mile short tracks. We haven't been to a road course.
NASCAR added, no, we haven't, and I'm looking forward to the road courses this year, but
This
I always
package
do.
is not going to screw up the road courses.
Well, no,
The road
that
courses
wasn't the
are
point.
always
going
good.
to
We was just
improve.
saying we didn't have. I think we go to Pocono. I want to see what happens at Pocono, and I still haven't heard whether we're getting 2 400-mile races, or what are we getting at Pocono? Has anything been announced about that next year?
Well, yes, it's the races are it's 400 miles on Saturday and 400 miles.
Okay,
on
so we're
Sunday.
getting two full lengths.
Like
but I'm excited to
it's
see
two
this year
full-length
what we
races.
get at Pocono with this package, and I'm interested. They're adding brake ducts for Pocono, Michigan.
It's the air ducts. It's
or
not
the air
brake
ducts, sorry, for Pocono, Michigan, and
Homestead.
Homestead. Yeah.
No, it's not
3
Pocono,
tracks.
Michigan, Homestead. It's Pocono, Darlington, Homestead.
Oh, sorry. Pocono,
But
Darlington.
it's basically the full package instead of most of the
What
package.
is different about the package this year versus the package that they had at the All-Star race last year? What is
more
the
horse,
difference there?
basically more horsepower.
Yeah.
The package at the All-Star race
was
was
400
crazy.
horsepower. This is 550, and they've got the ducts
Yeah.
funneling it, and the taller, the spoiler's even taller. Than
I mean,
it was
I don't know if
last
you
year.
remember last year. Last year they were like 3 wide the whole race.
I wish it had been a little bit. I wanted it to be a little bit closer to the All-Star race, but that was also with I think restrictor plates and not the tapered spacer.
Yeah,
either.
it was.
Right.
And I think what's interesting about that, a lot of people have actually mentioned that lately, that why didn't we just stick with the All-Star package? And I think, honestly, it's because the drivers wanted to get away from the plates. I think that was a pretty unanimous thing among the drivers.
Pretty much.
Which is what they've done. So,
actually, my final lightning round question revolves around the All-Star race, since that's coming up next Saturday night. We get back-to-back Saturday night shows. I'm excited about that. Is it time to look at moving the All-Star race away from Charlotte?
No.
what he said. No!
Charlotte started that. That's Charlotte's thing.
There's only one track that I would agree with moving it to, and that would be Martinsville.
Under the lights.
What?
And only with the stipulation that the race itself is no longer than 30 laps.
What?
I don't think you
No
could,
pit stops.
I don't think you... Well, see, at Martinsville, you could do a 90-lap race
Okay,
without a pit stop.
good. 90 laps. No pit stops. I don't even like 90 laps, though, because I feel like 90 laps is too long. But at Martinsville, it might not be. But no pit stops. This race should be about drivers beating and banging each other.
If it's at Martinsville, I say
It's an all-star race.
Make it 100 laps.
Randy?
You know, it's a short track.
We're gonna talk about this in greater detail on next week's Inside Pass show, but just to plug. But I feel like yes, we need to move the race from Charlotte, because I don't think it's fair that the same track hosts the All-Star race. If it's really truly an All-Star event for the drivers, then why does Charlotte get to be the one to host it every single year? Why
Because
can't it be
home track.
If we're trying, well, I understand that, but if it's like all the other, if we're trying to be more like all the other sports, and all the other sports get to have a different city host the All-Star race, why can't we do that in NASCAR? Why
Well,
can't
okay,
a different
man.
city?
You know what? I say we shouldn't host the Daytona 500 at Daytona.
Well, then you can call it the Daytona. You'd have to call it a different.
No, we're going to call it Daytona 500, and we're going to move it to Bristol for a year.
Nah,
that's the way
I understand what Randy's saying.
I've got Charlotte pride. That's the thing.
I just
is
don't-
that it was started here as an attraction more than
If you
anything.
moved it, you'd have to move the date, too, because obviously it couldn't be 1 week and then
Right.
let's come all the way back, and you can't.
Right.
But no, I think Charlotte should keep the All-Star race. That's part of the tradition, is it's at Charlotte, part of the 10 Days of Thunder. If they want to move it to a short track, that's fine. But for goodness sake, we don't need the doggone All-Star race being at Kansas, for crying out loud. No offense to Kansas, but, I mean,
Okay, that's one
that
thing
would
I
be
could agree with.
Awful boring.
One thing I
Yeah,
can agree
it
with.
really would
you make
be.
it you choose 4 different tracks. You choose a mile and a half.
Let's
choose
go
a
to
short
Bowman
track.
Gray.
Why don't we go to
Bowman
Why don't we
Gray?
go to a track? Why
Take
can't
it
we
to
go-
Bowman
would be
Gray.
fun.
Why can't we go to a track that isn't on the schedule?
Right.
We go to that one
yeah.
track.
Don't even get
100
me
laps at
started.
Bowman
Don't
Gray,
even get
let's
me
go.
started.
Let's
We're
go to
taking our
Alberta.
Shush, final break. We're wrapping it up right after this.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more, but the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
You are a waste. A loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov to learn safe, simple ways your child can help stop bullying. Be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Hi, I'm Tyler Reddick, and you're listening to Race Talk on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Defending Xfinity Series champion, bringing us
Yes.
back for our final short, stubby little segment here to kick, or to to kick this show off into the corner, I guess, and end it. I mean,
to conclude
yeah,
the show.
conclude it. That's what I'm trying to
bring
do.
the show to a close.
I've had this hooligan sitting next to me all night. My brain is mush. Just being honest.
It is catching, isn't it?
I hope I gave you guys a memorable experience.
It was memorable.
Joe, we need to have you back more. Let's not be waiting 3 years this time.
Let's not wait 3 years.
Call
to
me
get you
next week. I'll be here.
Oh gosh.
I'll be here all year. What?
We don't have a Sharpie here. We need to get him to sign the wall.
It's over
there.
there.
What the
Chris,
heck?
throw it quickly. Oh, wow, that
easy
was
on the
loud.
headphones there.
Randy's
there.
Just give me the screwdriver. I'll etch
No,
it in.
that's not.
We'll post it on the post show.
Yeah, we will. Something like that. Randy's
Get
trying
Reid to sign the wall.
Randy and Chris are trying to find
on
the
the
Sharpie
social
and it's
media
not
outlets.
You're saying
working.
that everybody else signs the wall
We
live?
tried.
Everybody,
I know. We screwed up, Reid.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
all right, I get it.
That's because we had a rookie producer. We got to check out here.
We still got a few seconds here, long enough for me to say thank you to
That's correct.
HMS Motorsport, mycomputercareer.edu, and strutmasters.com for what they do to make this show possible. Chris, stop looking for the Sharpie and get ready to close the show.
I thought it was glued to the table. I didn't
Just
think we
trust me
ever
on
moved
this. It's okay.
the Sharpie.
Yeah, I know. It is what it is. So we want to thank Reid for coming in and spending an entire show
I want to thank
with
you guys
us.
a lot for having me.
Absolutely.
Definitely a lot of fun.
It's been enjoyable. So, with
Reid
that
Wilson,
said, for our
everybody.
guest Reid Wilson, Randy Miller, Tom Baker, I'm Jacob Seelman reminding you to keep it off the wall, and if you're headed to a racetrack, we might just see you there. Have a safe racing weekend till we meet again.
You've been listening to Motorsports Madness powered by mycomputercareer.edu. Training for a better life. You can be an IT professional in as little as 4 months. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation test today. Motorsports Madness, a Race Chaser media production. For more exciting and passionate motorsports content, follow Race Chaser Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and visit racechasermedia.com. The opinions expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, affiliates, or marketing partners of Race Chaser Media. No part of this show may be reproduced in any manner without the expressed written consent of Race Chaser Media. Thank you for listening.